in the word. Don't go out to camp, you scared. Put on my friends, get fly like a bird. We keep the commandments, don't know what you heard. Pull out some scripts like I'm a director. I stay with my sword, I'm ready whenever. It's the end of the world.
They shall be upon thee for a sign.
So these curses will be upon the children of Israel for a sign. What does a sign do, Aaron? Direction as an identifying marker. I can tell that that's united by the sign. I can identify the different streets by the signs on them. So now God is saying these curses, you're going to be able to use them for signs to identify who the children of Israel are. Right? Read.
And for a wonder. And upon thy seed forever.
Now it says upon thy seed. When it says thy seed, what does that mean? Yeah, when it says and upon thy seed forever. As a man, a man carries the seed, right? I mean your sperm. You put that in a woman, that brings forth what? That brings forth kids. So that means he's saying here, you'll be upon your kids forever. Meaning these are generational curses.
Right.
You know how we talk about our community? Oh, I'm breaking generational curses. Single parent household, that's generational curse. Stuff like that. The Bible has generational curses. That we can look back in history and see that these curses fit the same people. It went from their fathers to the kids, to their kids, to their kids. Right? So we're gonna look at some of these curses, Aaron. And I want you to tell me who these curses fit today. Go to verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Moses said, God will put a curse on you Israelites if you didn't keep the commandments, that in any city we dwell, we would be cursed. So now, when you look at the hoods, the ghettos, what race of people mainly live there? Black people and Hispanic people, right? We live together in the worst parts of the city, right? In any city you go, it's not just here in Lubbock. You go to Dallas, you go to Houston, you go across the seas to Africa, you go to South America. We live in the worst parts of the city. Right? Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
He said, cursed you'll be in the field. When you look at our history, who's in the cotton fields? Picking cotton for free for hundreds of years. Huh? Us, black people, right? As well as Hispanics were in the field as well. You see in this image, they're working in the field while the slave master is right there. Right? Both of us, so-called blacks and Hispanics, we're cursed in the field. Like we were talking about DEI, in the job field. Who has to have a law passed for them, a statute passed for them, so that they can just get a job? That's us. That's what DEI is. They say, you're the token black person at the job. I mean, you're the only one. You're only there because of DEI. You're only there because they have to have a certain percentage of each race there in the job field. That's a curse. God said He would put a curse on. We're the first hired, last hired, first fired. That's what we are. But remember, who are we talking about here in Deuteronomy? The Israelites. And we just read this curse. Who did this curse fit? Curse in the city, curse in the field. Who fits that curse today? Us, blacks and Hispanics, right? Go to verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So now he's saying, your sons, your daughters be given into another race of people, right? In history, whose kids were sold to another race of people? Us, on auction blocks.
Right.
They will go up there and sell you to the highest bidder. Families tore apart, right? That happened to black people and Hispanic people. You can see it today. You see ICE going there, taking kids, putting them in cages down there at the port, separating families. If you're illegal, right? They're taking kids. Another race of people is taking our kids, right? Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Because guess what? When you look on the news and you see the parents whose kids got taken, what are they doing? They're panicking, but they're crying as well, right? When you look at slave movies like 12 Years a Slave, Roots, right? Whenever their kids got separated, what were they doing? Whenever their kids got sold on the auction block and got taken by the other slave masters, what were the parents doing? They were crying, right? They were crying, lamenting for their kids. Why? Keep reading.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
Because we don't have the power to go and free those kids from that condition.
Right.
From them cages. Back in slavery, we didn't have the power. And even today, up to 2025, we still don't have that power. Right?
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Jump to verse 68. Right? So we read those two curses. And those, Moses is speaking to who today? He's speaking to us. So far, these curses have hit us, right? Now read verse 68. This is going to be the nail in the coffin. We're going to read this curse, and it's going to show without a doubt who the children of Israel are today. All right, verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So now we just said Moses took the Israelites out of Egypt, right? He took them out of Egypt. He went to Pharaoh and said, let my people go. He took them out of Egypt. So now Moses is saying, you're going to go back into Egypt. So now give me Exodus or Deuteronomy 6 and 5. I'm going to show you what the word Egypt means, right? Because we think, when they say Egypt, we're thinking, oh, we're going to go back to that old landmass, right? That Egypt back there. But I'm going to show you what Egypt means in the Bible. Deuteronomy 6 and 5. 5 and 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
So now he's saying, he's going to bring us, he brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. If you're bound, what are you? You're tied up, but these men right here, they're tied up, and they're what? Bondage is slavery. Egypt means house of slavery. So now go back to Deuteronomy 28:68. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So now the Lord's saying, I'm going to bring you Israelites back into slavery. Read.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Who went into slavery on ships, Aaron? Us, right? Blacks and Hispanics, we went to slavery on ships because they took black people. They took black people from the west coast of Africa and spread them to South America, Central America, North America, right? They took them on slave ships over there. And then what they did was they took so-called Hispanics from South, Central, North America and put them back in Europe, in Spain, in Portugal, and France, right? On slave ships. Let me ask you something. Did any other race of people go on slavery on slave ships? No, you can't think of one. Did those white people there in Israel go on slavery and slave ships? No, they don't fit that curse. Are they cursed in sea, cursed in the field? No, they live in the best parts. They live in the best parts of the hood. They fund those things. They don't fit those curses. So keep reading Deuteronomy 28:68.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
He's saying that old Egypt back there in the east, you're not going to see that Egypt again. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
He said there, once you get to that house of slavery, you're going to be sold unto your enemies. Let me ask you something. When we got here to America, when black people got here to America off the slave ship, what did they do? As soon as you got to the slave ship, did we get sold? Yeah, we got sold on the auction block. They took you to the auction block and you were sold to the highest bidder. Right? Read.
For bondmen.
For slave men.
And bondwomen.
And slave women.
And no man shall buy you.
No man shall buy you mean no man shall save us or redeem us. Right? We had great leaders like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Cesar Chavez, Chacha Jimenez. We had these great leaders that rose up, right? But ultimately, did they save us? No, they didn't save us. We're still cursed. from us.
Bring it out.
So they didn't save. The only person that can save us is Jesus Christ.
Right.
He's the only one that's going to come back and save us. So now we read all these curses, Aaron. And Moses is speaking to who here in Deuteronomy 28? Who is Moses speaking to right here when he's giving the curses? You said earlier, Moses, who did he lead out of Egypt? His people, the Jews, the Israelites, right? So he's speaking to the Israelites. So now, all of these curses that we just read, who do they fit today? They fit us, right? So now if he's speaking to us, if these curses fit us, and Moses is speaking to the Israelites, who must we be today? If Moses is speaking to the Israelites, all these curses, right? But these curses fit us today, then who must we be? No, I'm gonna give it to you. We're the Israelites.
That's right.
What about blacks and Hispanics? We are God's chosen people.
I follow you.
You follow me?
Yeah.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.